The San Francisco 49ers were founded in 1946 as an AAFC franchise, becoming the first major professional sports team based in San Francisco before joining the NFL in 1950. Team co-founder Tony Morabito, born in 1910, relentlessly petitioned the NFL from 1941 before securing AAFC entry, proving that a West Coast market of over 1 million people could sustain pro football. The name 49ers honors the 1849 California Gold Rush, when roughly 80,000 fortune seekers crossed thousands of kilometers to San Francisco, mirroring the team's identity as pioneers of West Coast football. The 49ers joined the NFL in 1950 and played home games at Kezar Stadium, a roughly 60,000-seat venue in Golden Gate Park, until moving to Candlestick Park in 1971. During the 1957 season, the 49ers went 8-4 and hosted the team's first postseason game, losing a 24-7 halftime lead to the Detroit Lions in a 31-27 Western Conference playoff heartbreak. Hall of Fame running back Joe Perry, nicknamed the Jet, became the NFL's first player to surpass 1,000 rushing yards in back-to-back seasons in 1953 and 1954, totaling 2,480 yards across those years. The celebrated 1950s million-dollar backfield featured four future Hall of Famers Y.A. Tittle, Joe Perry, Hugh McElhenny, and John Henry Johnson, an unmatched quartet in NFL history. From 1950 to 1970, before relocating, the 49ers compiled a regular season NFL record of 136 wins, 141 losses, and 8 ties, hovering near a .500 winning percentage while building a loyal Bay Area fan base. In 1971, the team moved about 8 miles southeast to Candlestick Park, a windswept stadium near San Francisco Bay, where swirling gusts often exceeded 20 miles per hour and shaped game strategy. From 1970 through 1972, the 49ers reached 3 straight NFC championship games, all against the Dallas Cowboys, losing by margins of 3, 10, and 1 points respectively. The franchise transformed in 1977 when Edward J. DeBartolo Jr., then only 30 years old, acquired the team, eventually overseeing 5 Super Bowl titles between 1981 and 1994. Bill Walsh was hired as head coach in 1979 after coordinating a high-powered passing attack in Cincinnati. His meticulous West Coast offense emphasized short, high-percentage throws under 15 yards. Walsh's offense replaced deep bombs with timing-based slants, outs, and option routes, turning passes statistically completed 60 to 70% of the time into extended runs after the catch. When Bill Walsh arrived, the 49ers finished 2-14 in both 1978 and 1979. By 1981, just 2 seasons later, they improved to a franchise-best 13-3 record and earned home field advantage. The turnaround revolved around quarterback Joe Montana, a 3rd-round pick in 1979, who by 1981 posted a 63.7% completion rate and 19 touchdown passes, orchestrating late-game drives with surgical calm. On January 10, 1982, in the NFC Championship, Montana rolled right on 3rd and 3 from the Dallas 6-yard line and lofted a high pass that changed franchise history. Dwight Clark, a 6'4" receiver, leapt in the back of the end zone and snagged Montana's pass with his fingertips, giving the 49ers a 28-27 lead in the moment dubbed the catch. That 1981 team allowed only 15.6 points per game, the fewest in the NFC, and produced 23 interceptions, pairing Walsh's offense with an opportunistic defense to reach Super Bowl XVI. In Super Bowl XVI on January 24, 1982, at the Pontiac Silverdome, the 49ers defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 26-21, capturing the franchise's first Lombardi Trophy behind Montana's 157 passing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Between 1981 and 1998, the 49ers posted 18 straight winning seasons, never dipping below 10 victories in any year from 1983 to 1998, a consistency unmatched in that era. During the 1984 regular season, the 49ers finished 15-1, outscoring opponents 475 to 248, yielding only 15.6 points per game while ranking second in total offense yards. Super Bowl XIX on January 20, 1985, in Stanford Stadium pitted Montana against Dan Marino. Montana amassed 331 passing yards, 59 rushing yards, and 3 passing touchdowns in a 38-16 victory. Bill Walsh retired after the 1988 season, finishing with a 102-63-1 regular season record, a .617 winning percentage, and 3 Super Bowl titles across just 10 seasons as head coach. George Seifert inherited Walsh's roster and guided the 1989 49ers to a 14-2 record, including an 8-0 road mark, then oversaw one of the most dominant postseason runs in NFL history. San Francisco's 1989 playoff run featured combined scores of 41-13, 33, and 55-10, culminating in a 45-point Super Bowl XXIV win over Denver, still the largest margin in Super Bowl history. In Super Bowl XXIV on January 28, 1990, Joe Montana completed 22 of 29 passes for 297 yards and a record 5 touchdowns, earning his 3rd Super Bowl MVP in 4 appearances. From 1981 to 1990, Montana's playoff record with San Francisco was 14-5, and he threw 45 postseason touchdown passes for the 49ers, averaging over 2 passing scores per playoff game. Montana suffered a severe elbow injury in the 1990 NFC Championship and missed the entire 1991 season. By 1992, Steve Young's rise forced a quarterback controversy that divided fans and media. Steve Young, acquired in a 1987 trade, led the NFL in passer rating for 6 seasons between 1991 and 1998, including a 1994 rating of 112.8, with 35 touchdown passes and only 10 interceptions. In Super Bowl XXIX on January 29, 1995, Young threw 6 touchdown passes against San Diego, breaking Montana's previous record of 5 and amassing 325 passing yards in a 49-26 win. That 1994 championship team featured Jerry Rice, who caught 112 passes for 1,499 yards and 13 touchdowns that season, while also wearing a league-mandated helmet with a special chip for radio communications tests. Widely considered the greatest receiver in NFL history, Jerry Rice recorded 1,281 receptions, 19,247 receiving yards, and 176 receiving touchdowns with the 49ers from 1985 to 2000. Rice posted 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons from 1986 through 1996, averaging over 1,300 yards per year in that span, a level of sustained production unmatched by any other wide receiver. On defense, Hall of Fame safety Ronnie Lott, with the 49ers from 1981 to 1990, recorded 51 career interceptions and made 10 Pro Bowls, setting the tone as an enforcer in the secondary. Lott famously chose to amputate the tip of his left pinky in 1986 rather than undergo a longer recovery surgery, allowing him to miss minimal playing time and epitomizing toughness for the era. The 49ers dynasty years heavily overlapped with the salary cap era's start in 1994. San Francisco navigated the new cap of $34.6 million by restructuring veteran contracts and front-loading deals. From 1981 to 1998, the 49ers played in 10 NFC championship games, reaching the conference title matchup roughly every 1.8 seasons and maintaining contention across multiple roster cycles. The franchise's first major downturn came after 1998. Salary cap strain and aging stars contributed to seasons of Fort Welve in 1999 and 214 in 2004, including a 7-game losing streak in 1999. Candlestick Park, opened in 1960, hosted 49 ERS games until 2013. It sat on San Francisco Bay's western shore and was notorious for cold winds, with typical night temperatures near 10 degrees C. On December 23, 2013, the 49 ERS played their final game at Candlestick, beating Atlanta 30-24, punctuated by Navarro Bowman's 89-yard interception return, dubbed the pick at the stick. The 49 ERS relocated in 2014 to Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, about 70 kilometers southeast of San Francisco, a modern venue with an official capacity exceeding 68,000 for football games. Levi's Stadium incorporated 1,000-plus Wi-Fi access points and a 27,000-square-foot solar array designed to generate enough electricity annually to offset the power used during 10 home games. Before that move, the 2011 to 2013 Jim Harbaugh era revived the franchise, with records of 13-3, 11-4-1, and 12-4, and 3 straight NFC Championship game appearances. In the 2011 NFC Championship, the 49 ERS lost 2017 in overtime to the New York Giants after 2 costly special teams fumbles by returner Kyle Williams in the fourth quarter and overtime. The 2012 season ended in Super Bowl XLVII, where Colin Kaepernick passed for 302 yards and ran for 62, but a late goal line stand preserved Baltimore's 34-31 win after a 22.49 ERS rally. A controversial non-call on potential defensive holding against Michael Crabtree on 4th and goal from the 5-yard line with 1:50 remaining became one of the defining what-ifs in franchise lore. Despite that loss, Harbaugh's 49 ERS posted a 44-19-1 regular season record over 4 years, a .695 winning percentage, before his departure after an 8-8 2014 campaign marked by internal friction. The post-Harbaugh years saw 2 rapid hires and firings. Jim Tomsula went 5-11 in 2015, and Chip Kelly followed with a 214 mark in 2016, including a 13-game losing streak. In February 2017, the 49 ERS paired head coach Kyle Shanahan with general manager John Lynch, both signing 6-year contracts to align coaching philosophy and roster construction over a long horizon. Shanahan's early 2017 offense ranked 12th in yards, but only 20th in points, reflecting red zone struggles that improved after acquiring quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo in an October trade with New England. Garoppolo started the final 5 games of 2017 and went 5-0, completing 67.4% of passes and leading 3 game-winning drives, raising expectations after a 1-10 start. An ACL tear in Week 3 of 2018 derailed that momentum. The 49 ERS finished 4-12, setting up a pivotal 2019 season that would redefine Shanahan's tenure. The 2019 team started 8-0 and finished 13-3, ranking second in both points scored and points allowed, with a defense that generated 48 sacks and 27 takeaways under coordinator Robert Sale. In the NFC Championship on January 19, 2020, running back Raheem Mostert rushed for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns on 29 carries against Green Bay, helping secure a 37-20 victory. Super Bowl LIV saw San Francisco lead Kansas City 2010 with 7:13 left, but they surrendered 21 unanswered points, losing 31-20 despite holding Patrick Mahomes under 300 passing yards. In 2021, the 49 ERS traded 3 first-round picks and a third-rounder to draft quarterback Trey Lance 3rd overall, investing heavily in a dual-threat passer to future-proof Shanahan's offense. Despite Lance's selection, Jimmy Garoppolo started most of 2021, leading a 10-7 record and road playoff wins in Dallas and Green Bay, including a 13-10 victory decided by a blocked punt touchdown. The 2021 season ended with a 2017 NFC Championship loss to the Rams, as a potential fourth-quarter interception slipped through safety Jaquiski Tartt's hands with just under 10 minutes remaining. In 2022, Injuries to both Lance and Garoppolo opened the door for rookie 7th-round pick Brock Purdy, the 262nd overall selection, earning the nickname Mr. Irrelevant, turned unexpectedly vital starter. Purdy won his first 7 starts, including playoffs, posting a 119.4 passer rating in the regular season with 13 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions, while averaging over 8 yards per attempt. His 2022 run ended in the NFC Championship against Philadelphia when he tore the ulnar collateral ligament in his right elbow early in a 31-7 loss, forcing him to attempt only short throws afterward. By 2023, the 49ers core featured All-Pros like left tackle Trent Williams, linebacker Fred Warner, and edge rusher Nick Bosa, who recorded 18.5 sacks in 2022 and earned Defensive Player of the Year. Offensively, Deebo Samuel embodies the wide back concept, totaling 1,770 scrimmage yards in 2021 with 365 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns, while still topping 1,400 receiving yards. Tight end George Kittle set a then NFL record for tight ends with 1,377 receiving yards in 2018, averaging 15.6 yards per catch and generating multiple receptions clocked over 20 mph by tracking data. The 49ers analytics department tracks past depth, separation, and yards after catch. From 2018 to 2022, Shanahan's offenses consistently ranked top 3 in average yards after catch per reception. Historically, the 49ers have retired at least 12 jersey numbers, including Joe Montana's 16, Steve Young's 8, and Jerry Rice's 80, permanently honoring their contributions above the franchise's 1,000-plus games. By the early 2020s, the 49ers had appeared in 7 Super Bowls, winning 5, tying them with the Dallas Cowboys and New England Patriots for second-most Lombardi trophies, behind Pittsburgh's 6 at that time. The franchise's all-time regular season record surpassed 580 wins by the 2022 season, reflecting an overall win percentage above .530 since joining the NFL in 1950, well above league average. Rivalries with the Dallas Cowboys, Los Angeles Rams, and Seattle Seahawks define fan identity, with multiple playoff meetings since 1970 and emotionally charged clashes often decided by single-score margins. The 49ers' red and gold colors, adopted in 1946, were chosen to echo Gold Rush imagery. The modern uniforms pair scarlet jerseys with metallic gold helmets containing a stylized SF oval logo introduced in 1962. In 1960, the franchise introduced its first cheerleading unit and over the following decades expanded its game day entertainment, adding a live band and large video boards by the early 21st century. The faithful, as 49ers fans are known, often travel thousands of kilometers for road games. In some 2019 contests, visitor-side crowd noise in stadiums like Los Angeles exceeded 90 decibels. Ownership transitioned from the DeBartolo family's full control to a shared structure in 2000, when Denise DeBartolo York and John York assumed leading roles after Eddie DeBartolo Jr. stepped back amid legal issues. Jed York became team president in 2008 at age 27, later serving as CEO. Under his leadership, the club invested hundreds of millions of dollars in Levi's Stadium development and practice facilities in Santa Clara. The 49ers training facility, the SAP Performance Facility, sits adjacent to Levi's Stadium and includes 2 outdoor practice fields and an indoor turf field, supporting year-round conditioning in California's mild climate. Sports science staff monitor GPS data, heart rate, and accelerometer metrics. Players often exceed 6,000 meters of total distance covered in a single practice session with repeated sprints over 20 km/h. The franchise operates the 49ers Foundation, launched in 1991, which by the early 2020s had contributed over $50 million to education and youth programs across the Bay Area. The team's cultural impact reached beyond sports when quarterback Colin Kaepernick began kneeling during the national anthem in 2016 to protest racial injustice, sparking nationwide debate and coverage across all major news networks. From 2010 to 2020, the 49ers played 21 postseason games, going 11-10, averaging roughly 2 playoff appearances every 3 seasons and reinforcing their identity as frequent contenders in the NFC. Over more than 75 years, the 49ers evolved from a 1946 startup to a 5-time Super Bowl champion, blending strategic innovation, iconic players, and fiercely loyal fans into one of football's defining franchises. Tracing pioneers from the 1940s to modern stars, the 49ers' history proves sustained excellence demands bold innovation and resilience. Exploring their games, stats, and stories reveals how a regional team became a global brand.